Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We are back for another track guide, this time at the Spa Endurance layout, so the new Spa in the Acura GT3 Evo 22 or whatever it's called. Putting this guide out a little bit earlier because this weekend does have an endurance event out inspiring the GT3s as well as the normal series for next week. So I have used the fixed setup, but because they are open series, what I did was I simply started with only 35 litres of fuel and I just ran it for sort of 20 minutes. So there's about 15 left when I did this guide. Default brake bias for whatever the fixed setup is. I just didn't make any changes. Any questions, let me know in the comments and let's start the hot lap. Right, let's start the hot lap. So smashing it down, there's that main straight, looking for the 100 sign. We brake up to about 80%, wipe all that speed off, long trail off, down to first gear, getting on the gas nice and early, trying to avoid too much wheel spin. So this is on warm tyres, as you can see, through the pressures, if you can see those. So we can go absolutely flat here, through Eau Rouge, and Radion. And again, we're going to look for the 100 meter board, the end of the Kemmel straight here. And we're also going to brake once again up to about 80%, down to third gear, cutting the corner, little dab on the brakes, cutting the corner quite a lot this time, back over to the left hand side. Now we're going to do a lift, and we really want to take that corner. The Acura bruises over them. We're going to brake at the start of the curbing for turn 8 here, and it's a long trail off if you're looking at the telemetry graph there. Back on the gas in second gear, back over to the right hand side, little dab on the brakes, back on the gas. As you can see, it's now hitting low fuel, so there's 10 litres left when I did this. At the 100, we're going to, or just after, brake, trail it off down to fourth gear. Really gentle getting back on the gas here. Very easy place to spin. You don't want to do that in an endurance event. Now at the 50, we're going to brake hard, quick trail off, down to third gear. I'll just kick sideways a tiny bit there, just to lift through 13, back on the gas, back over to the left hand side. Just before the curving, we brake again for 14. Getting on the gas nice and early in third gear. Now we're absolutely pinning our ears back all the way to the bus stop chicane. But don't think just because we've got here that it's easy. You still have to be careful with the steering through 17. I did manage to lose it once, even on warm tyres. Right, and now just before the 100, more the sort of 150, that's when we brake hard, down to first gear, little dab on the gas, back it down, and through the gears and across the line in a 2:16.047. And don't we just love these new GT3 tyres? So that's over a second faster than my previous best in this car around here. Right, let's do the breakdown. Right, it's a long lap, so let's charge through it. Breakdown. So the first is going to be the 100 meter board on the left hand side. So as we go through there, we brake and we hold it at around 80. Now the reason why I can hold it exactly on 80 is my new Moza mBooster brakes. I have it set to vibrate when I hit 78%. So I know that usually this is roughly when ABS will kick in. So as soon as it starts vibrating, I just hold the pressure that I've got there to try and avoid the ABS or the worst of it. Now we trail it off down to first gear. And at the apex where we are now, we're going to start getting back up on the gas. And I don't go up to 100% until I've opened that steering just ever so slightly. Nice wide exit. Now a lot of the time you can use that sausage curve just to straighten the rear if it's kicking out as well, which is handy. So we can go flat here. But what we want to do is basically, this is where we want to be entering. And I'll just slow it down slightly, and we want to just be cutting that corner a little bit. And then just cutting this corner a little bit, but keeping the right-hand tyre on the black stuff. Same thing, braking marker at the 100 on the left-hand side. So again, we just hold it at around 80, wipe that speed off. trail it into the corner, and we're always wanting to be cutting the corners in this car because we're not in a formula car, so we can really make use of the additional width of the track. Down to third gear, and then we get back on the gas, and then we lightly, very lightly, only up to about 15%, dab the brakes, and again we're cutting the corner here as we go through turn 6. Just going to open the corner up, and again really cut it here at turn 7. So we're not using the 100 for this corner for turn 8 because we're not traveling as fast. We're actually going to use the front of the rumble strip on the left hand side, or the colored bit. As you can see, this is when I start braking. Brake up to about 70% and then go down through the gears, down from third to second. As you see, I'm still trailing off. It's a long trail off, basically until midway or just after midway through the corner. Feeling for the grip, up to third, back over to the right hand side. Now basically as soon as you touch this right hand curbing, that's when you're just going to dab the brakes, trail it off, and then we want to get on almost to 100% at the apex here. Now as you can see, I am cutting the corner as much as I can without hitting the no cut curbing on the left hand side. It'll send you out nice and wide, as long as you're keeping your left hand tyres on the black stuff, you're fine. Next braking is going to be, so it's just after the 100, or it's roughly where the 80 meter board would be if there was one. And we're braking up to about 50%, and then a short trail off, dropping it down to fourth gear, and slowly building back up on the gas. As you can see, as I go around here, I don't hit 100% till I'm back at the outside of the turn. And if you look at my steering angle, I know you can't see my steering wheel, but you can on the telemetry. I've not got an awful lot of lock on at all. And I'm just trying to hold that lock in the exact same position, not adding any twisting motion. Next is going to be the 50 meter board for turn 12. And we actually brake quite hard here. I did get up to 85% there and trail it down into third gear. And we're wanting to just cut this corner slightly, and then a lift, as you can see, and then I want to cut this corner as well, so just feeling for where the curves are. Back over to the left hand side, and again it's going to be the curbing that's going to dictate, or just before we get to the curbing, the braking marker. Up to about 70%, trailing it off down to the apex, and then building back up on the gas. I go back up to 100% once the car's got all four wheels down on the track. This bit's nice and easy because it's flat. So my apologies for spamming everyone with GT3 guides on a Thursday night and Friday morning, but as I say, there is a 3 hours of Spa event this weekend, so I want to get it out, or get them out for that. And it's going to be the, oh sorry, that's my alarm going off telling me to get up because it's 6 AM when I'm doing this. So yeah, it's going to be this white line in the road is going to be our braking marker, and I brake quite hard up to about 80%. Hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. Trail it off down to the apex. We're down to first gear at this stage. Then we blip the gas. And then we lightly on the brakes up to about 14%. And then we start getting back on the gas one final time, getting up to 100% nice and early. And then just up through the gears and over and across the line. So that's been me. I'm no driving line version of this because the majority of you will be doing this in a B-class license. Right. I've been Sam of iRacing. I'll see you guys in the week or later on today.